the Kansas City Chiefs. He obviously was going to be moving on. The Chiefs have had a need in the backfield. Questions about whether they'd be getting Jeremiah Love at the number 9 slot. So Kenneth Walker will be going to the Kansas City Chiefs, solidifying their backfield.
Okay, I love that, Schefter. Way to go. Hey, thank you, Schefter.
Put one on the board.
Now he's back at it, by the way. Now he's back at it. Okay, so Kenneth Walker signs with the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's go to the free agency fun zone. Schregs, how come the Chiefs are in on everybody that's cool? Super Bowl MVP is heading to the Chiefs. It feels like this is a repeat story.
Well, we also saw that Travis Kelce is likely coming back, which is great news as well. That's the rumors here. But Kenneth Walker, he had a market. This is a guy who had a market with various teams, but they focused in on the Kansas City Chiefs. His agent, David Cantor, got him right before the playoff run. Think about that. He fired his agent right before the playoff run, signs with a new agent, goes on and has that incredible tear, goes and wins Super Bowl MVP, and he had his choices. The numbers will be coming in shortly. They will be very strong. Strong enough where it was worth leaving the Seattle Seahawks to go to the Kansas City Chiefs. Big addition from Brett Veach, who, if you remember, went and did a big signing with Sammy Watkins a few years back, which really got things going for the Chiefs and that dynasty.
Schregs, I love that. Dano, tell me a little bit about what this could do for Patrick Mahomes. Nobody's really talking about Patrick Mahomes. I just saw him post some photos. Travis Kelce coming back into the world. Nobody's really talking about the Chiefs being who the Chiefs is. Sportsbooks still have them at the 5th best odds because I think they have respect. But when you talk about general football convo in the AFC, they're not really talking about. Does this change that, you think? Is this an Andy Reid weapon that could change everything for him, Dano?
100%. The slide of the Chiefs offense over the last 2 or 3 years is directly correlated to them not being able to run the football really at all. Last year, they were the only team in the NFL to not have a back average more than 4 yards per carry. And they had a back have 1 carry for more than 20 yards. So this was a throw it at all cost football team. Now you're looking at a Kansas City offense that Eric Bieniemy's back. They want to get more 50-50 balanced, 60-40 balanced. We'll see what Patrick's health is coming off of the ACL. Maybe they'll have to be a little bit more reliant on running the football early on. And so this is kind of the trend in the wave of the NFL of exactly kind of, how offense has to get played. You've got to be able to run the football. Kansas City has not been able to the last 2 years. So this is a really important signing. Also means they don't think Jeremiah Love, back from Notre Dame, is going to get to the number 9 pick.
Well, Jeremiah ran a 4.3, and then he did all the workouts and all the drills, and he is outrageous, obviously. You need a good run game. Tone, what are the Chiefs looking like from the sportsbooks perspective?
So, we just mentioned the Ravens, who are now tied with the Buffalo Bills for the best odds to win the AFC. Right behind them are the Kansas City Chiefs. So, while, yes, the Chiefs are being quiet right now because they had one of their worst seasons that they've had in over a decade, as far as like us and media and people talking about them, the sportsbooks still believe that the Chiefs are one of the 3 best teams in the AFC. They're tied for 5th as far as odds are concerned to win the Super Bowl.
We met Schneider. He can't throw a football for shit, but the guy can build a football team. Yes. Him moving on from Kenneth Walker, we were all like, that sucks. Super Bowl MVP. He just came on late because Charbonnet got injured. They're assuming that Charbonnet is going to be able to be back into what he was. But we watched Kenneth Walker at Michigan State. Feels like every time Kenneth Walker gets the ball, He's doing something with it, like legitimately. Since I've known of his existence, every time I've seen him have a football, he's been doing something with it. So for him to win a Super Bowl MVP and then be up, good for him. But Schneider had to make a tough decision, kind of letting him go, and Andy Reid and Veach were just waiting for it, I guess.
Well, and just talk about a culture guy. Like, you're getting somebody who goes in and knows what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And when you talk about just his numbers in general because of the Charbonnet thing, there's a good 6-week run where a running joke on the internet was how Kenneth Walker would get every single yard down to the goal line, and then Charbonnet would basically take it home. So for the Chiefs to get him, that's massive. And now, we mentioned Jeremiah Love. They have the 9th pick. They can get one of the top O-linemen. The O-line has been a big question for them over the past few years, especially after trading Joe Thuney to the Bears. So them being able to then focus on that during the draft is even bigger for that team.
The draft should be bananas. We cannot wait to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for all of that. It's going to be special time, special night. And a lot of these teams are at the top, have a lot of money, So what does the draft look like after this free agency spending period? To be honest, it's been kind of quiet. I don't know if you guys saw, Pelissero reported that in the last league meetings, there was a vote the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe, put together where they could have an hour where they could talk to some of these free agents that they were looking to sign. In the past, it was just the agents. And you didn't even talk to the players. player before giving them $100 million, $200 million. Now there's something going on where you get an hour to talk to 5 different free agent prospects. So I wondered if that was going to slow down the free agency frenzy at noon because guys that were supposed to get massive bags, let's go ahead and do a double check and then roll it into hour 2, maybe even hour 3, which we will certainly be here for. Tom Pelissero, subtle but significant change when the NFL's free agent negotiating window opens on Monday. For the first time, clubs may conduct 1 video or phone call, maximum 1 hour without 5 free agents. So these guys that they used to just give money to without even knowing, just being told by their agents and other thing, now they're getting a chance to chat with them. This feels smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
This feels like a smart move. That's why the Alec Pierce deal is so easy to make happen. The Kenneth Walker deal, I assume, is easy because that was given earlier than that combine to get a chance to chat and kind of learn about it. It's a crazy. Last year's free agency frenzy, this is before they were even allowed to talk to guys, okay? Not even allowed to have a hello with these guys. $2.84 billion in contracts was given. Yeah. That's Monday through Wednesday, last year's free agency frenzy. D-line won today, which is kind of an indicator of what the league is. You need 4 ones up front, so the D-line going to get paid $862 million last year. Secondary, $804 million.
Hey,
Hey, DB.
All right. Need them.
I like
another
that.
corner's got a bag.
Who's that?
Trent McDuffie.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he did.
He just
Reset the
became the
market.
highest, I heard, $31 million. Trent McDuffie gets traded, and then he becomes the highest paid corner in history at $31 million a year. There was also a corner down in Jacksonville that just got paid earlier today.
Buster Brown.
Buster
Yeah.
Brown
Buster
got
Brown.
paid.
Monteric Brown.
It does feel like D-line, DBs, if you can buy them and get them, you certainly try to do that. It has become a trend of the free agency frenzy.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the Rams, they kind of went DB by committee. They play a bunch of zone.
7 of it next year. So it's $67 million dead cap is obviously the biggest that a team has ever accrued for one particular season for one player. Remember the Russell Wilson situation? It was like $40 million or something like that, $50 million. Never been done before. Now, salary cap's up over $301 million. These teams are living a dream. We got more money than we ever thought we could have. It bumped up $20 million, not supposed to bump up that much. So they've projected what their contracts could be and can be. They end up with a little bit more money. And down there in Miami, in the post-Chris Greer era and the new Green Bay Packers run down there, they say we can take $6-7 million hit this year, right? 6-7, that'd be the biggest in the history of the game. That'd be a lot of money, bro. 301 salary. Yeah, start doing the math. That's a large percentage of money that we're not able to have. Sean Payton just did it in Denver. You're right. Get Oos out of here.
Let's do it.
Cut him. $99 million cap hit. $32 million next year. They'll take in dead cap hit for Tua Tagovailoa as they continue to move on. D-Butt, South Florida, Broward County Hall of Famer. Your thoughts on the Tua era down there in Miami and what comes next for the Dolphins?
I mean, obviously, you hate how it ended. Miami and the Dolphins in particular have been looking for that guy since Dan Marino, honestly. It's been a revolving door at the quarterback position. It's been over, damn near 25 years since they've gotten a playoff victory. And then you thought once he got paid and then he had the kind of MVP run, you thought it was going up, but it didn't. It kind of went all downhill. And now with Halfley over there and Sully, a lot of the signs kind of point to Malik Willis being their next guy potentially, or maybe they just go for their next quarterback in the draft. Kind of alarming. They couldn't get anything for him. Nobody was calling to trade and get number 1 in that building. But we shall see, man. I hated how it ended, but just like the post said, thanks for the memories down in Miami, Tua.
Yeah, shout out to Tua, and also shout out to a man who might have a little bit more information on this. Let's head into the free agency frenzy zone with Adam Schefter. Schefter, how'd they come to this decision? $99 million in dead cap.
Well, let's give you an idea of what's going on in Miami right now with Tua and the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins, obviously, they'll be dipping their toes into the Malik Willis market. I think that they are going to be a team that is interested in Malik Willis. It's a question of whether or not they can work out a deal with him, but I think the Dolphins would be square in play. Jeff Halfley, the head coach, John Eric Sullivan, the GM, got a first-hand, up-close look at Tua, or at
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis in practice last year in Green Bay. As for Tua Tagovailoa, he is definitely going to be interested in joining the Atlanta Falcons. They're interested in him, and you could just see it right now. 2 left-handed quarterbacks in the ATL. Michael Penix, Tua Tagovailoa. You don't have to adjust the offense very much. They need help with Penix coming off that knee injury. Tua could be that guy. So Tua is set loose today. And again, I think he's supposed to talk to the Falcons this afternoon. We'll see if they can get a deal worked out where he goes in there. It shouldn't be an expensive deal. The Dolphins are already paying him guaranteed money. So again, Tua could be in line in Atlanta, and I think that the Dolphins will be in on Malik Willis.
And I think I'm getting a text message right now that I can't talk about this anymore. Heading to the Falcons. We appreciate you, Schefter. That's very fascinating, because the small deal for the veteran quarterback who's getting paid elsewhere. Once again, Russell Wilson kind of mastered that with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers were able to get Russell Wilson for $1.2 million or whatever the case is. Kyler Murray also in discussions to be in that particular convo. Tua available. Kyler available. Kirk allegedly going to be available. D-Bud, it sounds like we're getting another wave of those second-generation quarterbacks maybe getting another crack at the apple.
Yeah, Geno Smith as well. I mean, look, these guys, they're talented. You've seen them play at a high level in the league at some period in time, so they're talented. They can get it done. But we've seen it in quarterbacks of the past. Sometimes you just got to be in the right system, got to be the right coach. You got to have the right players around you as well. You have the talent there. If the money can make sense for the team, why not bring them in and give them a shot? And we'll see, where these guys end up.
Well, and you mentioned, that massive cap hit that the Broncos took on. They decided to go with a rookie quarterback. For the Dolphins, it is, if it's not Malik Willis, this is probably the time to have a cheap, veteran quarterback available. There's 5 of them we've listed off, Tua being one of them, so 4 really for the Dolphins to kind of choose from. So having that massive cap hit definitely sucks, but at least now you have a couple options to replace him.
Yeah, I love the thought of Tua going and having success and going back and hanging 70 on people. I love the thought of. I like the thought of Kyler going to a Kevin O'Connell offense and throwing for 500 a game, 300 a game. But we also have to remember some of these guys might just suck at football.
True.
I don't want to say that today because